he was lurking. So we made sure he went missing. Told the fakers to leave, but they wouldn't listen. They faulty. Now they gotta watch me glisten. They ain't silent. Like some snakes, they stay hissing. Spreading words and rumors. They gon' keep coming from a bad place. Oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays all the niggas to be see-through. I always said this is that don't stay from a bad place. Oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays all the niggas to be see-through. I always said this is that don't stay around people. Finding my own path like I'm writing my own sequel. Two-faced people all around, they be evil. 2021, you can never trust nobody. Good and bad thoughts on my mind, they be crowded. Pushing to get past his limits, then he see he bought it. Family work hard, but I never guess I'm found it. Came a long way in my dream, now I be drowning. They dying, I hear got some hearts pounded. Multi-talented, my passion, I haven't found it. Yeah, in my home, I was never ever doubted. Coming from a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays all the niggas to be see-through. I always said this is that don't stay around people.
Good evening, good afternoon to each and everyone. It's your boy GFC Gov. I'm back again with another video for you guys. So today is not the way we expect the leagues should kick off for us. Result wise, it's kind of a little bit disappointed, but there's a lot of positives that we can take from this game. To be quite honest, I can sit here and I can say like I see things that I like. See things that we can improve on. You know, See this manager is big and brave enough to make some decision that he's been making so early, in his tenure. So there's a lot, there's a lot, and there's a lot of positively to really sit and take from this game. Up against the champion of England. A lot of us Chelsea fans cannot sit here and say that we're gonna definitely win. But we're looking for a good showdown, which I saw some stuff, where we improve on, we're not afraid to play the ball, we're brave on the ball, you know, um, still the goalkeeper, still kind of a little bit iffy for me because that second goal where he should have go long, he go to Fafana, in that close spaces. He's trying to get a good, decent clear. He could not. Ball go to Kovacic, and we all know what happened after that. But not gonna sit here and say the keeper of our game. Distribution is not that good. Every time he distribute the ball, it go out for throws, or it's not the Edison distribution or the Addison from Liverpool and Man City goalkeepers. But there's a lot of positive we can take from the game. I'm not honestly, I wasn't stressed, I wasn't upset, or nothing at all in that manner, of the game, to be honest. I was definitely so this is why I really do the stream, because I have to pay my honest debt, to the lovely, Miss Rosie. So we make a bet, and I'm the loser. So I'm here. No way to hide, no way to run. I'm here, Miss Rosie. So we gotta talk. Yeah. I don't know if you on X. So if you can message me on X, it's GFC Garvin, the same thing on X. So if you can message me on X, and we can go from there. Yeah, but I'm here. You call it. Much as I hate it to see Man City win, but my team improved. I like what the manager is doing. He didn't show me something in preseason and then change it up. You know, I see Caicedo. I, yeah, Yeah, but to be honest though, I have a lot of positivity that I can take from this. To be honest, I do understand that it's a loss, but I like the way my team carried himself on the pitch. We still need a little bit more, in depth, to or still need at least one more season fully under this manager to say we can be up there to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Arsenal. But if we continue to build on what I see today, I know for a fact that in the future, we're definitely gonna have a good team. I was listening to the commentator, and they were saying that this is the second youngest team in the history of the Premier League. So yes, I understand we got a very young team, and we only can grow from here and get better. So, I'm not gonna sit here and bash the owners like some other people, because I definitely see positivity. These young players that we're by are really good, and if we keep this manager, doesn't matter where we finish. If we keep this manager and continue to build on what he's doing in the next season, I know for a fact that Chelsea, will be back or close to be back where we want to be, you know, um, or somewhere close to where we should have been. So I'm not gonna be the one gonna go on the negative train. I have a big positivity for this season because I definitely can sit here and tell you that go up against the champion, yeah, Chelsea fourth or fifth or even third, that's exactly what I'm looking for. But to go up against the champion, they didn't outplay us, which I hear on some big account that, they were tying with us. They weren't tying with us. Like we all our own on the pitch. And that's all you can ask for. You only can ask for the players to go out there and give their best performance. And that's what happened today, in my humble opinion. A lot of people will think otherwise or say otherwise, but for what I see when I watch the game, I see that this Chelsea team can get better. If we bring in the likes of a Joe Felix, that very creative, and a striker, I'm still concerned about the goalkeeper. Not really too much about the defender. Fofana could have done a little bit better. With the first goal. All he need to do is step a little bit more and stay in line with his rest of defenders. That's where we lack a little bit of leadership. Because if he did just step an inch, that goal would have been offside. So it's just definite those little details that we need to iron out. They didn't make too many mistakes like what we saw in the preseason. You know, it's a very not good performance overall. We could have done better because we got few opportunity. The same thing with Nicholas Jackson. Don't know how to keep himself onside. If he was just make two steps backwards before the ball even play, he would have been off onside, then that would be the equalizer. So I see a lot of positivity, from the game. Doesn't matter what anyone want to say. I see positivity. I see something that we can build on. And for me, if we go into the rest of the games and play like how we play, know that we're gonna get result. Or result can come our way. It's just to keep going. As Miss Rose say right here, Pedro Neto, Pedro Neto, I think he's gonna make a big difference. I'm not the one that's gonna sit here and say I'm sorry that Raheem Sterling is out of the team. When I did come back from my preseason game against Real Madrid, that was one of my biggest concern about the wingers that we got. They weren't good enough. To be honest, they wasn't good enough at all. So seeing Pedro Neto come in, in his first game, you see the runs that he made. Unfortunate that Rico Lewis was there, to stop him from getting a goal on his debut. But I can see where when we play at least 4 to 5 games in the season, I can see where this team's gonna start to click together because we saw a few little mistakes that the connection was a little bit poor 1 or 2 times, with Nicholas Jackson and then Cuckoo, one made the run and the next one stood back instead of go forward. The same thing with Marco Corella, with the back heel when he should have go forward to go through, he stepped back. So soon as they start to get all these interchange right, and the togetherness by playing games together, I will definitely see something. I know for sure we'll see something different. And I'm not worried about the game, to be quite honest. The result is one, because you need at least a result in the first game of the season, at least a draw. But I see we can build from this. Our next game is against Wolverhampton, I think. We have to go there. We have to try to get a 3 points. It's not going to be an easy game. Because Wolves is a very good team. Last season they beat us twice. You know, Enzo gonna have to work something out there. Have to try to come away from there with at least a 3 points, because we can't start the season trailing too far. So 3 points is a must for the next game. Or a decent performance. Even a point. Coming away from that with even a point, we start to build some confidence. But for the next 4 to 5 games, we definitely have to get some results under our belt, to build the confidence. Once the confidence is built, I think that we can definitely go on a run. So I'm not too bothered too much about the game. So for right now, I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section. Let me see what you guys think about the games in the comment section. Miss Rosie already said, what she said earlier about Pedro Neto, would make a big difference, and we definitely know that for sure. That he's gonna chip in with a lot of goals. It's his first game, and it's at Stamford Bridge. And last season, some of the players want to play away from Stamford Bridge more than anything else. And I foresee the Stamford Bridge crowd, wasn't booing the team or they were behind the team. That's a big plus, because last season it wasn't like that. So to see that they definitely was behind the team, help pushing the team. So I definitely Chelsea session. I have an announcement to make soon. Okay, bro. If you ready, if you want to make it whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready, you can go ahead, bro. The referee. To be honest, the referee was how I could put about the referee now. It's a 50-50 to me. On the referee, it seems like he was refing against us one of the time. To be honest, none of the calls. Some of the calls where he could have make it, a little bit quicker. Especially against Cole Palmer. No, against Colwell, where he could have blow it from the first time because he was there. He see it right there. And then, but he waited till the ball go in the back of the net. To let it go to VAR. So if VAR didn't see it clearly, like it would be something like he probably give the goal. But he saw it. So that's one of the things that I definitely see. The one against Enzo, it was a little bit iffy. But Enzo stepped on the guy foot first, and then after that, we all know what happened. But that one could have go anywhere at all. Because of Enzo. The first thing they try to show about with Enzo foot touching Diaz foot first, and then Diaz take him down after that. So that one is a could be a 50-50. You know, they're still working the handball. They say they're changing the rules about the handball. So that one is another one where I can say it's a 50-50. But we will see. We will see what happened in the season, because if they definitely get that, during the season in the favor of Man City or Arsenal or Liverpool or whoever, then we can always come back to that matter. But the referee for me, the first game of the season, we all know that Ante Taylor, that referee don't really like Chelsea too much. him and Chelsea always have something going on. So I don't know why they give him the game, to be quite honest. But it's not the referee fault. As I said, our defensive line, misunderstanding caused the first goal because Fafana should have been in line with his fellow defenders, but he was two-step back or a step back. That would keep Bernardo Silva on side. So it was just his foot that keep him on side. So I will say, that that's definitely a goal, but we have to keep both Fofana and Levi Colwell. We have to keep both to build something on there, right? Because we definitely can be switching them right now. We need consistent in the defensive line, so we need them to build a partnership. So we definitely have to continue with both of them. So that's a big plus, and plus a big X also, because hopefully he learned from his mistake. But he was out for 2 years anyway. He was out for 2 years, so I have to cut the guy some slack. Because he come back and he still played the whole 90 minute. Even though you will see he was going down with cramps and stuff. So you can see that he's not fully fit, but he leave 90 minutes, without any major injury. That's few little cramps here and there. We still got I think our next game is still on Sunday, so we still got like a lot of time to recover, and to continue to build up his match fitness. But I think that when this guy build up his match fitness, and if he stay fit, he will be like a very, very good leader in the defensive third for us. So he's definitely gonna be one to really look out for. Thank you, Miss Rosie, for being welcoming our new guests. It's the first time I'm seeing it, but I really appreciate you all the time, Miss Rosie. Always here and always welcoming the guests. I really appreciate you. No problem, and welcome to the community. Really appreciate you. Thank you. So Ty is saying here Chelsea play on Thursday. So that's something that I never really look up anyway. So thank you, Ty, for that update. I really appreciate it. So oh yeah, the who we play on Thursday, Ty? If you can go ahead and give the update who we play on Thursday, I really really appreciate it. But I know that we're gonna play the Conference League sometime this month, but I didn't know it was on Thursday. So if we're gonna play on Thursday, that's definitely something that's gonna be good for us, for the players to continue to build and what oh, big up indefinite. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Really appreciate it. So we play the Conference League on Thursday. Big up, big up, big up, bro. Big up, bro. Everyone who tuning in, man, when you tune in, at least say hello to Miss Rosie, because she keeping the comment section in line, and we really appreciate Miss Rosie for what she's been doing. So want everyone to give Miss Rosie her flowers. So we have to win. We have is a two-legged game, right? Or because I didn't really check on it. Let me see real quick. Oh, so we play them Thursday at home. So that's even good for us because we're not traveling. So that's good for us. So we're playing the first leg at home, and then we go away to Wolves on Sunday, and then the following Thursday. Wow. So guys, breaking news for me. August the 22 is my daughter's birthday. So Chelsea gonna play on my daughter's birthday, and then 7 days after that, August the 29th is my son's birthday, and then Chelsea play again. So I hope that their birthday present will be Chelsea victorious in these two games, to be quite honest. But the game that I'm really mostly concerned about is will be the game away to Wolves, and then we go to Crystal Palace, in the Premier League. So we got 3 games on Sunday back to back. So our first 3 Premier League games will be on Sundays. Wow. But indefinite, tell me what you think about the game today, bro. Because definitely I saw a lot of meltdown online, about this loss. Like it was like this is the end of the world, or something like Chelsea got blown off the park. A lot of people been saying that Man City was toying with Chelsea. So give me your take. Give me a take on it. Thank you for the confidence, Miss Rosie. I think Chelsea. I definitely think Chelsea will win both games. Because I watched Crystal Palace and Bedford today, and Palace they haven't seems like the team that was playing to the end of last season. The way they were flowing. I think Olise was a big part of that, and I think he's a big miss. They still got few players need to settle in. They have few good signings. They're still unsettled because two of their most senior central defenders both are looking to leave because one will Anderson being linked with Fulham, and I think Mark Gay have linked with Newcastle, and I think Newcastle about to up their bid, so they can be losing both their central defenders before the end of the transfer window. So it can be a massive hit, on Crystal Palace. But Wolves now, that's the team that is kind of like I don't know what we're gonna get from them. So there would be the one that I definitely kind of a little bit iffy about, because Wolves sometimes they turned up and sometimes they don't. So hopefully that on the day they don't turn up. But to see Wolves start the season against Arsenal and then against Chelsea, that's a tough call for any manager. But their manager is really good anyway. I don't really worry too much about their manager because he is a good manager. I think that he definitely is underrated. He's one of the most underrated manager. O'Neill in the Premier League. I think that I don't know if it's because of the English, because they always said that England don't produce too much, good manager. I can record England, an English manager, that ever win the Premier League. Not that I can record or I remember of, So it's a tough call. It's definitely a tough call, with him because I think that he's just too that everyone in the Premier League just underestimate him. But I think that if he get a good job, probably like a top 6 or top 4, job, I think that he definitely can be one to look out for. But I think he's better than the rest of English manager. No disrespect to the English manager, but I think that he's one that you definitely can call like he's a good manager. You can see how he react with his players and the way how he carry himself. He is to be quite honest. Miss Rosie here. Yes, Miss Rosie. Remember, Miss Rosie, we I still have to go for my debt. I still have to pay my debt. Okay, you're the winner. So if you want to hit me up on X, let's hit me up on X, and then we can go from there. I'm a man of my word, so we're gonna have to take care of that sooner or later. So, hit me up on X, and then we can go from there. And congratulations, you're a winner today. Yesterday with the games, the giveaway games. You weren't that lucky with the numbers, but today, you are a lucky. You are lucky today. Today is your lucky day. Yeah, but so we can figure that out when you're ready. So just let me know. But congratulations again, because today you are the winner. Information supreme is in the building, guys. Yeah, the performance. The performance is for me. The performance. I'm not really pissed or upset with the performance. I definitely think that if when we get a striker, I think that we need a batsman. Definitely need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. That's something that we have to look into deeply. We have to try to get someone to put the ball in the back of the net. That's one of my biggest concern. We definitely have to find a way how to put the ball in the back of the net. Once we get that, and if we get the likes of Joe Felix, with his one-on-one juvenile ability, and then you got the likes of probably a Cole Palmer can come in, especially when we're playing against some lower block team. You don't need the likes of Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo or Lavia. You don't need three inside of there, so you can have Cole Palmer in the 10, or Nkuku. So I definitely see, what we're building, and I definitely can sit here and tell you guys, like, the performance wasn't bad in my opinion. We could have done a lot better, but it's still young. And as I said, that it's the youngest team in the history, the second youngest team in the history of the Premier League. That's on the first game of the season. So that's one of the things that I'm not. That's why I'm not really concerned or bothered. This because we have a fully young team out there, and the performance up against the champion wasn't that bad, in my opinion, my humble opinion. You guys have your own opinion, so you guys can definitely tell me what you think, about what you see, because we all see things different. So, but in my humble opinion, I definitely can sit here and tell you that, I'm proud with what I see a lot. But let me rephrase that. I'm proud with a lot of what we see, what I see. Not everything, but with a lot of what I see happening in the game, I'm really proud of it. And the reason why I'm really proud of it, because I can see player movements, I can see chemistries building, I can see our defensive line, is a way better than what we saw in preseason. I can see that the line wasn't too high. I can see that the players, was playing for each other. I can see that Malo Gusto, is a very good one-on-one defender. I can see Pep making switch, to try to get the best of him. He still hold his own. You can see that Cole Palmer still doesn't have that match in his legs. He still need a couple of games to start firing, but you can see what the potential and the talent he got. Mark Guiu, if I call his name correctly, you can see when he come on, you can see that he's a player that willing to run, willing to press. So those are some aspects that you can take away from the game, and just know that things only can get better. By week in, week out playing, things only gonna get better. So on Thursday when we go up in the conference league, I would love to see, that we at least trying to leave that game with at least with a 3 or 4 goals victory. That means when we have to travel the following weekend, because I don't know where that team is from. So you definitely, some of these European countries, a long journey, just like when you have to travel in the US for a preseason tour. But the players should be used to it by now, because traveling in the US, man, for preseason is not that easy, to be traveling from one point to the next point. United States is 52 states. And trust me, one of the state, especially California, or Las Vegas, somewhere, you can say that is probably bigger than England and a couple of European countries put together, to be honest. That's how huge, some of the states are. If you go to like the likes of Virginia, it's a very huge state too. So it's not a okay. Let me see what indefinite say right here. My problem is brother Garvin is yeah, the CDM because Fofana and the striker, I'm still concerned about the goalkeeping too. You know, I'm still waiting to see the left back. To see what he can bring. But I'm still my biggest concern is the goalkeeper because the new goalkeeper I still haven't see too much of him to know if he's the right profile. But I definitely think that the CDM we should at least get another CDM because of Fofana, injury record. Even the guy that West Ham get on loan, at least if we know that he was on loan, we could have tried to at least get him on loan, to see where Fofana, will be by the end of the season. But you're 100% correct, bro. The CDM was one a concern, and the striker. We definitely need a striker, someone who can read those little details that a striker need to do. Like Nicholas Jackson, should have been on side, should have been make one step back, to stay in line with the play, to finish his dinner. Just like it's similar to what Erling Haaland get. He just find a way how to stay on side, in line with the defender. Because if you see that first goal, it's very close. We couldn't go anywhere. So you're 100% correct, bro. You're 100% correct. We need a batsman. We definitely need a batsman. FDT is in the building. Yeah, bro. It's just one of those days, bro. The problem I got with Sanchez, right, bro. The thing I got with Sanchez is his distribution is very poor. Like every time he distribute the ball, it go out for throw. Like he never hit the target that he need to hit, and that's one of the biggest concern. The second goal that we concede, I understand that we're trying to play out from the back, but if you see that Man City is pressing to our right side. All he got to do is go long to an outlet. But he don't trust his passing range, so he go to Fafana. Fafana try to make the pass. He go to Man City, and he leave all of our midfield wide open. So Kovacic, we all know that Kovacic get driven. So Kovacic, only thing he have to do is driven. And that's what he did, and just shoot. And even when he shoot, that shot should have been saved. So it was just another poor performance in that aspect from Sanchez. That's just my take on it, though. I just think that he should have done better, even with the save. Even though he didn't go long, he go there to Fafana, but I think that he should have made that save because he touched the ball, but you can see that his position was wrong from day one. His footing, even to his footing, was wrong. So that's something that he should have been sought out because that shouldn't be a second goal for me. That should have been around the post. Or push it away for a corner. But mistake is there to make. But I just think that this keeper make too much. I don't think he's that good on his feet, like what everyone say he does. I don't think he's tried, but I don't think he's that good because if he was that good, I know for a fact that Brighton would have keep him because that's the way Brighton play. But I definitely think that we need a better goalkeeper. Honestly, I don't want to see him. I didn't want to see him in my goal anyway. But I just think we're trying to go cheap, and that's one of the biggest concern. But there's better goalkeeper out there. Even the Valencia goalkeeper that Liverpool is trying to sign, even that goalkeeper probably is not that good at his feet, but he's overall a better goalkeeper than Sanchez. I don't think Sanchez is that of a good goalkeeper. That's calling like what everyone say. Yeah, both goal was a mistake from our defender. Yeah, you're 100% correct. involving the goalkeeper too, because the first goal, as I said, Fofana should have stepped up, should have been in line with his fellow defenders, so he keep Bernardo Silva on side, and then the second goal, is definitely, when he passed the ball to what his name, to Fofana, he should have go long. And even though when he passed it to him, he never go back, in the right places as a goalkeeper. He should have been the one that been seen the whole entire pitch. Because a goalkeeper, always see the pitch better than everyone. When you play as a defender, you see the pitch better than a midfielder. The same thing goes on and up the pitch. Because when you're in the goal, you're seeing everything. Everything in front of you, you're seeing it. So you can be commanding your defensive line, tell them where to go, what to do. If you remember when Peter Cech, I don't know if you watched the Peter Cech interview, when he was saying that sometimes, you seen the game more than everyone else on the pitch. So you have to be directing, your players where to go. And that's where I think our goalkeepers is lacking, no communication, especially with the defensive that's in front of them. I don't think goalkeeper these days are vocal enough. So I think that he should have been more vocal. I think, in my honest opinion, I think that's one of the biggest problem right now with Chelsea. The communication and the defensive line need to be a little bit more. They need to talk more to each other. I don't see none of them being shouting at each other, to go back in places, or even the goalkeeper. They're just out there, let everyone doing what they're supposed to do. But I think that we definitely need to improve in that part. If we don't get a CDM or a world-class goalkeeper, I just think that they definitely have to work on that in training, But for me, we definitely need a striker. That's one of my biggest things. Is we definitely need a striker. A striker is a must. We have to find a way out to get a striker. Let's see if anything else in the comment section. We got 19 of you guys watching. And let me see how many likes we got. Because 19 of you guys watching, that means someone haven't hit the like button yet. Guys, please hit the like button for me. I'm looking if any news pop out. Oh, there's no news so far. I'm trying to see if I can get what Enzo Maresca say after the game, because I come on live, as soon as the game finish, because me and Miss Rosie make a bet. So to be a man of my word, I have to come on live so I can get it going. Well, there's nothing much really going on, guys. There's nothing much really going on. I think we would have been announcing Joe Felix today, but I guess that probably be tomorrow. I think that tomorrow will be the day when we announce Joe Felix. Come on, guys. Over 20 person watching, 15 likes, 16 likes now. We can do better. Still have 4 people haven't hit the like button yet. I never really cry for likes, so I'm asking for likes today. 21 person, just 16 likes. Come on, we can do better. We can make it even out. Let me see what Jordan, LFC is saying right here. I reject you guys after joining. I'm staying with Liverpool. Come on, bro. You can't be a flip flop, man. You can't be a flip flop, bro. You have to You have to steer to the course, man. You have to stay to it. You already switch, bro. You're a switchy boo then, bro. You switch, man. You can't be switching back and forth. So you already switch, man. You have to stay. Blue is the color, bro. Blue is the color. I know that you switched yesterday because it's all over, man. It's something that go viral yesterday. You want me to announce it, Jordan? You want me to announce it, Jordan? I can announce it for you, bro. That you're now an half and half. You're both Chelsea and Liverpool. You're on the fence. If I'm allowed to announce it, bro, let me know. You want me to announce it? Ladies and gentlemen, my bro Jordan is on the fence. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding. I know that you're a Liverpool true and true, bro. You guys win over the weekend, so congratulations to you guys. You're a brother, man. I will never throw you under the bus. Yeah, but I like the way they convinced you yesterday, though, to go on the fence. You know, it's just unfortunate that about 20 minutes after, you change your course. But Raheem Sterling, I've been left out of the team, and his team his team put out a statement. Raheem Sterling, what's going on with Raheem Sterling? He still want to stay in London, but I'm wondering if they try to force him out of the club. This is something that we definitely need to talk about. What's going on with Raheem Sterling? Raheem Sterling is out of the. He's not even on the bench today. He's completely out of the matchday squad. Juventus have been sneaking around. What's going on there? Enzo said it was tactical reason. Why he left Raheem Sterling out. And Raheem Sterling, PR drop a statement. So what's really going on with Raheem Sterling, my fellow Jamaican bro? Well, you should have said that yesterday, but you jump on the fence, and then after you delete it, bro. But that's for another day. That's for the group chat. We definitely will talk about that one in the group chat, bro. But as I'm saying, bro, yeah, you are a Liverpool fan, true and true. I already know that, bro. I know you were just toying with them, but I really appreciate it, bro, because it gave me a big laughter yesterday. To be honest, it's something it's something I enjoy for a little bit. Yeah, so it was a good one, bro. Even when you put up the stream, and then delete it after that. But Josh and Jack, I think they all take it and run with it too. So they all understand that you were the man that's sitting on the fence. I wasn't laughing, bro. I wasn't laughing. So if you want to switch over, bro, you can, bro. If you want to go to blue is the color, bro. I will never laugh at you. I will only support you. I will give you. I will help you, bro. I will help you. I will even get you some Chelsea shirts. I got the link to ship to Jamaica, so I will ship them. I will ship all that I can ship over there. I will make sure you get all your Chelsea gears. uh, yeah, Jordan need help, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan need help because he's still on the fence. He's still on the fence because I didn't remember nothing about this until he bring it up. So that to show you is something he still consider. So let us see if we can help him. Let us see if we can help him to make the decision, guys, to see if he will stay or he will switch. Yeah, bro. I send you the link. I send you the link on the link is on X. So I sent you the link. So if you want to come on, just jump on, bro. The link is on X. I send it to you. I send it in your personal account. So if you do want to jump on and come claims, and or come and tell us why, you were considering switch from a Liverpool fan, that's no problem. The link is I send you the link. Alrighty. So all you gotta do, bro, is just come on if you want to. Yeah, bro. I'm waiting to see if you're gonna jump on and come claims, or to come and tell us what really happened. I see someone say right here, 20 220 million midfield outdone by Kovacic. And I don't think that's a claim that we can take, and that's from Nunes talk football. I think that ain't I don't think that's correct though. I think for a fact that what he's saying, I don't think that he should even say that. So Kovacic is not like we get rid of Kovacic. Kovacic want to leave, and that's what I can't understand with this Chelsea fan base. That's why the like of Jordan don't really want to join Chelsea fan base because of some of these big outlets. How you want to keep a player that doesn't want to stay? I can't understand. Like Kovacic want to go. How you can keep Kovacic in the squad when he want to go? It's not like the club force him out. He want to leave. A lot of the players from Roman Arrows, they want to leave. So what can you do if a player want to leave? I don't think that's fair enough, on our team. That's why I can't stand some of these big account, man. And that's just the truth. Enough, on Jordan is here with us. Big up, Rich Money Maker.
Mm.
Big up, bro. Big up, bro. Bro, I'm gonna have to link you on X because I get to understand that the gift card don't work in the United Kingdom. But if yours work, you can just let me know in the comment section, please and thank you. Because I want everyone to get their prize. Josh and Jack already get theirs. So I didn't hear back from you since yesterday. So let me know in the comment section if yours work, bro. I really appreciate you tuning in. The legend, Rich Money Maker, is in the building, guys. My guy that give me all the breaking news. So thank you, Rich Money Maker, for all your support, bro. Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, hey,
You
Carbon. Yes, bro.
Yeah, I want to know what happened, yesterday. If you mind, while you were on the fence to join, I heard that you get a transfer. Jordan say you not Jordan, Josh. I think Josh said you take a transfer, you know, um, over to Chelsea and then in the last minute it didn't fall through. So tell me what happened with that transfer. You there, Jordan? Ladies and gentlemen, we can't hear from Jordan, so let me tell you what happened. Jordan was taking a transfer to Chelsea Football Club, and in the final moment, Fabrizio said, "Give a here we go," and then about 35 minutes after, I heard Fabrizio said that the deal have not fall through. Jordan take a big U turn. He didn't pass his medical. So Jordan, Tell me why you didn't get a transfer to Chelsea Football Club. Oh, there goes Jordan again. It seems like Jordan got this tendency for every time the chancellor is supposed to fall through, he didn't pass his medical or something. So we will see if Jordan will come back and tell us, the reason why, his transfer failed from Liverpool to Chelsea, and now he's back on Liverpool bandwagon. So let us see what's gonna happen. But ladies and gentlemen, that's Jordan for us, man. Let me see if anything else is there because it's not going to be a long stream today, guys. I really appreciate everyone that tuned in. As I said, Rich Money Maker, let me know, bro, what's going on. Let me know if you accept your gift card, from the game. All right, thank you, bro. Then Jared will send me the link. If you send him the link, he will send it to me. I really appreciate it, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, so you will send it to me, and then I will send it straight to you. I really appreciate it. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the update. You know, uh, I'm not seeing anything much right now. This is gonna be a very short stream, guys. Not gonna be too long. But I really appreciate the game yesterday, bro. That we play on the channel. The giveaway games. It was something very very nice. So if you guys want to take part, all you guys have to do is subscribe and tune in, to your boy GFC Garvin. Every month we want to do one of these, giveaway shows, or we probably give away a jersey or something, of your liking. So, that's what we're planning to do, so let us see what's going on. Just tuned in, participate in the comment section, and we go from there. So what are you saying, Jordan?
Well, guys, everyone in the comment section, decision of my life. Garvan, this will be tricky. This will be hard to say, right? I'm staying at Liverpool, bro. So, guys, I am loyal to Liverpool Football Club. It's my club. It's yeah. I know, man. I know it's heartbreaking, right? In fantastic fashion. I don't want to let down this club, and if Steven Gerrard hear about this, I'm dead. So I'm sticking with Liverpool through and through. I'm gonna do Martin Zubimendi. You rejected Liverpool. I rejected you guys. Sorry. I don't want to accept the offer. I'm not going to take the contract. The only contract I'll be taking is Liverpool contract for 5 years or more, not Chelsea. You'll never walk alone. It's my club. I am loyal.
Welcome, Ty. Welcome to the panel. I think that Jordan is looking for a Gerard slip. I think he had one of those moments yesterday. So how you doing, Ty?
Yeah. I kind of feel uncomfortable. I kind of feel uncomfortable, being on the panel with him all over because I know that he was so close to changing clubs, and I mean he's probably happy that he didn't change club. Look, seeing as how it would be easy for him to get bantered.
Yeah, that's definitely correct. Ty, can you hold me down for 1 minute?
all right, cool.
1 minute, bro. 1 minute.
Yeah, but you know, when, and this result, you know, a lot of people are going crazy. It's very easy to panic. It's very easy, you know, to look at all the negatives, but there are positives. You know, there's massive things that needs to be worked on. Yes, you can't dispute that. You can't deny it. It's the truth. But it's the first match of the season. You know, it was obvious that, you know, this project, this new start under Maresco was not gonna be easy. Was not gonna be one where we can expect greatness from the first match. That was obviously never going to be the case. We've lost integral player in that defense in Silva, and even then, Silva was having shaky moments because, you know, he's not the same player. He was getting older. You know, his feet were starting to go. So in terms of being able to have that resistance and that, you know, that strength throughout the matches, it was eventually going away. But you know, when I look at the defense, I, I just felt like I was being proven right. You know, looking at the disjointment that I was seeing, the disconnect from that midfield and the defense, it was crazy. I mean, the only thing that didn't go wrong is that we were trying to go through the midfield and everything was collapsing. The midfield was barely involved in most of the build-ups. You know, Lavia in the second half had some involvement before he came off. Lavia was one of the brighter midfielders as well. I mean, he was the one that was coming deep, getting the ball back, you know, making those interceptions. He was the one that really impressed me. And you know, you can see that he's not up to full fitness, but he's getting there, and it was promising to see, very promising. We didn't get that chance last season with Lavia, and Lavia feels somewhat of a new signing as well because, you know, he wasn't involved in many of the games. You know, I think he played. He only had one appearance, I think, if memory serves right. So I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot of negatives. There's a lot of things that you know people can focus on, and people have been focusing on the negative massively. They're talking about you know, on X, if you look on X, you see people saying things like, "Oh, you know, Maresca made mistakes," and yes, he did. I would say Maresca made some mistakes, but at the same time, it's the first match. You know, his you know, his project, his system, everything that he's planning to do is going to take time. It won't come into full swing after one game. And you know, as I said before, I would prefer that, you know, we learn these things very early on rather than we're blinded by potentially good games, and then, you know, as the season progresses, we have poor starts. And you know, it one thing that really frustrates me, as much as I try not to be frustrated, is the fact that, you know, it's just the same story. The narrative is just the same. You know, Man City are there for the taking. Getting the 3 points is there for the taking, and we can create opportunities and convert them. We may create opportunities. We may have attempts at goal, but we're not making those chances turn into goals. And obviously, people talk about controversial moments. You mentioned it earlier in the stream as well, Garban. You know, people talking about the penalty, about penalty shouts. People talking about, for example, the Kovacic, you know, handball situation, the situation between Fernandez and Diaz. And as you said, if if that was given as a penalty, the Diaz Fernandez thing, I would honestly be surprised because, as you mentioned, Fernandez, you know, he ended up stepping on the foot of Diaz, and if you look back at the replay, Diaz was he exclaimed in pain because of that, and you know, his reaction was not him trying to take down the player. It was a case of him, you know, trying to onto his foot because of the impact. So there's moments in the match that were very disappointing, very frustrating. We had opportunities. Jackson is obviously going to be one of the easiest scapegoats, but at the same time, the team, the attack was very, very, very shaky. Palmer was barely in this match for whatever circumstance that may be. And Kunku doesn't look like he's up to full fitness. None of the players look like they're up to full fitness, and that's understandable. At the end of the day, we just have to accept the fact that right now Chelsea are going to have somewhat of a difficult period of adjusting to the new system. And people will always say, you know, having a new project quickly and all this, people always go back to say that they miss Pochettino and all that. People have their right to their own views. At the same time, I have said this before, Maresca's system, it's not one where it cannot work. It can work, but we don't have the personnel for it. And I'm hoping that he does one thing that was a massive issue for me with Pochettino, is the fact that as you would have said, implementing something in preseason, and then when the season comes around, completely changing it and trying to experiment in the main season rather than doing what he was doing in preseason. So that is one thing. So, and as you said, we haven't seen much of a change. It's still the same philosophy, the same approach. I'm hoping that Maresca recognizes that some of these players, they're just not at that level that they need to be. So you can try to implement something, perhaps that can work just yet. And I generally think that we may have to do what we would have seen on the Tuchel, where we try to build from the back and go up. Try to work on that defense. The defense needs a lot of work. There's a lot of lack of concentration, and a lot of that led to the attempts, the opportunities that City ended up getting. And there's a whole issue with the wingers or the players who were playing as wingers not dropping deep in that first half. And then it being inconsistent. Palmer was deep sometimes. He dropped deep, tried to get the ball and all of that. But we had that problem of not having, those wide players, coming to support the defense. And I'm wondering if it's a tactical approach or if it's just lack of productivity and being proactive by the players. I generally don't know which one it is, but we need everybody. We need to be defending as a unit, and we're not doing that. It's the fullbacks trying to try to you know prevent the players from getting beyond them. And obviously, I have to give this to Pep Guardiola. Switching Doku from the right or on the side that Kukurea was, and placing him on the other side, and then bring on that guy who's Savino or whatever his name is, that new signing for them. It was a smart decision because he was actually giving Kukurea a hard time, and Kukurea would have lost some of the battles with him as well. So you have to give that to Pep Guardiola. Recognizing that quickly, it was commendable. But at the same time, there's a lot of things I can say that I learned from this match. We're gonna have moments in the season where we're gonna be disappointed. We're gonna lose some more games. It's bound to happen because we have, as you mentioned before, Garvan, earlier in the show, we have what the second youngest or something close to that. We have a very young squad, and in order for that to improve, in terms of them, picking up form and increasing in level, they're gonna have to make mistakes. They're gonna have to make errors, and as much as myself included, fans are not fond of this project of just having so many young players and not having enough experience to help to mold that young team and to guide them. It's the project, and we have to accept that that's the project. We can't change it. Complaining, having rant streams and all of that doesn't change the fact that the owners have a philosophy. They want to have long-term success. So in terms of you get these young players, and they work together, they get that brotherhood supposedly, and as the seasons progress, they go up in quality and up in quality, and you're just hoping for the best from them. But it's gonna be a long season. I'm hoping that we can have something to cheer about, hopefully win something. But if that doesn't happen, then It'll be interesting to see what happens. But it's the first match of the main season. We can't be overreacting. We can't be saying, "Oh, we're gonna get relegated, or we're gonna finish low on the table," because it's just one match. Things will improve, and losing to the title holders, it will be something that will give these players a reality check. To let them realize that they need to work on their performances. They need to hopefully try to get to that fitness as quickly as possible. It won't be easy. A whole bunch of those players who played in this match either came back from playing for their nation, or trying to get back into form after being injured. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens going forward. But there's a lot of things that I can say I'm happy to see. We were able to match Man City in a lot of instances, and I mean that's what's been happening for the past seasons. It was Liverpool, and now it's Man City. Arsenal in that game that we drew 2-2. So there's some positives, but it shows that we're some distance from where they are. So we just have to accept that, and it's not accepting mediocrity as Obi Mikel has been expressing to the media. It's just a case of just accepting that this is the reality. We can't be hoping for something that just simply cannot happen, because that is not the situation. So we have to accept it.
Welcome, brother. My brother is here. Indefinite is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. What's your
Big
take
up.
on it, brother?
Um, yeah, I mean, was this performance indicative of what we're going to see in the future? I think it is. We've been screaming for, like I said, the priorities this summer transfer window were a clinical striker, and to me, an elite or experienced center back to replace what we lost in Thiago Silva. He kind of guided a lot of these players. He had that type of influence where players looked up to him. And we don't have that any longer in terms of our center backs. And I don't think our center backs are good enough for this league. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Today, both of them cost us basically this match because they were both doing things that they shouldn't have been doing and weren't disciplined enough. And, like the problem that I'm having as well is the mentality is not there from them. Who's going to be that player that steps up to hold everybody else accountable? It didn't look like Enzo today, and Enzo can't really say anything based on his play today. That was a very mediocre performance from him. But yeah, Fofana coming in too deep and leaving Colwill basically all by himself with Holland is what cost us that first goal. And then, Colwill standing off of Kovacic as he was running towards him. And we saw that consistently throughout this match. For some reason, they do this process where they just continuously back off and give the attacking player more and more space and a chance to get the ball off towards goal. That's not going to work long term. That's not going to, unfortunately, I'm of the opinion that you have to build from a basis of like a defensive standpoint. You have to have a solid defense with a possession-based system, and I'm not seeing it. And I've been screaming for it. I mean, our priorities, as I mentioned, were a center back and a clinical striker this summer transfer window, and we have neither currently. I don't know if we will get one or the other. Hopefully we at least get a striker. But yeah, I mean, it's all for naught if we're going to continuously be, trying to come back on the back foot consistently throughout matches throughout the season. And it's going to, has an effect on these players. The more matches you lose, the more it's detrimental to their mentality. And now it's like a kind of like a psychological, thing now. It's like it creates this complex for these players where if they consistently lose and they can't somehow get momentum, then all of a sudden, we see it in their effort. They just don't try any longer. And I'm getting tired of, losing because we just didn't want to put in the effort, if that makes sense. So I would like to see these owners actually, go after a center back. I don't know that we need Osimhen. I mean, I would love him. He's a great player. He's a marquee signing. But at the same time, for Osimhen money, for the type of money we'd be spending for him, we could potentially get an experienced center back and then what we need. So if Tony is the more economical option, but are these owners going to all of a sudden get rid of their under 25 model? They're going to have to make hard decisions. There's going to be hard calls. You can't have constraints in a situation where you need so many different things. And we were screaming for that today. Jackson is not that guy to me. Everybody keeps saying he's going to improve, he's going to improve, he's going to improve. And I understand that he is improving. I mean, he can turn with the ball, he can dribble, he can do certain things like that. But Jackson has always been a left winger to me. So I don't see him thriving in that 9-related role where he's just not clinical enough. He's not the person who's going to put the ball in the back of the net. And with this system, we're not going to have the same amount of opportunities that we had last season. This is not free-flowing football. This is not like attacking-based football. It's you hold possession, and if your defense is solid enough and stable enough, you can hold out and eke out those 1-0, 2-0, kind of games, just simply based on the system and everybody being disciplined enough. I'm not seeing enough discipline across the board, but the standouts for me today were definitely Lavia and Cuckoo. Hopefully he's not too injured because he seemed to be one of the better players, locking up Doku when he was on his side. Sanchez, I still have questions about. I don't understand that move from the manager. If that was a manager's call, I think that was a poor decision. There's a lot of poor decisions being made that need to be rectified, immediately. I think we need to look at what we actually need throughout this season, and we need goals in the back of the net because as we continue to see, this is not a one season thing, right? This has probably been the last 3, 4, 5 seasons where for some reason we cannot finish our breakfast. We can't finish what's put in front of us. And if you don't take your opportunities against a team like Man City, you're always going to lose, or you're never going to be competitive enough to, warrant maybe a draw or things like that to get some points out of those games. They're going to be tougher for us in terms of the top 6. So we have a long road to go to me. I don't understand trying to get rid of Trevor Chalobah when he's our best center back that we currently have. I understand the for-profit model that they have, but it's flawed in one sense in that you get rid of a lot of necessary talent. I don't think that KDH is going to be, an upgrade to Conor Gallagher. I don't understand us loaning Ugochukwu when we probably are going to need backup for Lavia. We saw today. I mean, he didn't get injured, but it's just you never know what could happen, and we don't have that direct replacement for that defensive-minded player who can win the ball back. We're looking to me. I mean, everybody's going to say what they're going to say. I am still of the opinion, we may have one of the best attacks in terms of the players and personnel that we have. Nkunku, João Felix, Palmer, Neto, Enzo should be in that conversation, but I mean, he's not really impressing me that much. But just those players alone, should be enough. But I just don't see it being enough for some reason. Even Nkunku today didn't really impress me. Should have finished his breakfast, didn't take his chance that he had. Players just were very, I wouldn't say poor. It just seemed like they were going through the motions. I didn't see a sense of urgency when we went down 1-0. I'm not seeing the mentality where, okay, we need to drive and be better. And I want to know what player this is a question for both of you guys, that's going to somehow push these players to reach the top. Because I'm no longer of the opinion that it should be all on the manager to motivate these players. Some of these players are just not motivated. It's why Sterling wasn't in the team today. We need to get rid of all those players that have that lackluster mentality. I do not believe that Fofana has that mentality. Laughing after a match when he put in that type of performance is shameful to me. So we need to find someone within the team. This has to be within, the squad, not the manager, not the coaching staff, not the sporting directors, not the owners. This is on the people, the personnel that we have on the pitch. There needs to be a player that steps up and takes control of a certain situation and says, I'm the leader. These are the standards. We are not accepting, this. We need top 4. We need European football. We need Champions League football. We don't have that element in the dressing room. I'm not seeing where we're going to get it in the latter half of the season when things matter. That's just my personal opinion.
Anything on after that, Ty? Brother, you're spot on. You're spot on. I can tell you for a fact, even with the Rhyme Sterling part, and that's what one of the main thing why I'm confident with this manager a little bit, to say that I can sit here and tell you that his braveness, to take players out of the team, last season we will see Sterling, buying a piece of land on the left, and that's all he been doing all season. And our ex Pochettino would not take him off the pitch. Was still game in game out when you see the likes of Modric was getting informed, still wasn't getting a game. And I saw him take off Sterling today, show me that he don't care about the player profile. If he continue this, I will look at it and support him. The next player that it's because it's the first game of the season, so I'm not gonna really say much. It's Enzo. I don't think Enzo matched this team today. I think that Alex of Christopher Nkunku should have started inside. Enzo should have probably, playing deep. Either him or Caicedo, one should have been off the pitch. To I don't think we need all three today, in my honest opinion. Because Enzo doesn't give you much in the role that he play, but in the deeper role, he will give you a better passing range. So I don't think he fit that role. I think like if you have a Christopher Nkunku in that role, it would have caused Kovacic and Bernardo Silva a little bit more problems in that midfield. I think that's where we lost the game today. I think that even a Cole Palmer should have been inside. But you have to check Nani Madueke again, his mentality. What I see in preseason, the mentality is not really there. So probably that's one of the main reasons why he didn't even start today, which we're going to touch on in a little bit. But overall, you're 100% correct, because this defensive line still need to work on. That guy that went to West Ham United earlier on, I don't know if you hear when I said it, that if we know that guy was going out on loan, we should at least try to bring him in. His name was
Todibo. Yeah, John Clare Todibo, right?
So I think that we should at least try to get him on loan. Even if we don't have the money, we want to get the likes of Osimhen or a Joe Felix in. We could at least get him on loan. To be quite honest, I don't think Colwell. I know that everyone said Colwell is going to be a world-class defender. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he's not a good defender. He's a luxury defender. I don't like luxury defender. I like defender that like to get dirty. And I think that's where we're lacking. I think that our defender lack aggressiveness. They're not aggressive enough. So a striker always feel comfortable playing against them. Like a Malo Gusto. That Pep have to make the switch, because Malo Gusto is a dirty player in the game. He don't afraid to get dirty. And if we can get our main central defender to be like a Malo Gusto, that willing to put tackle in and let someone know that he's there, much as he's small in body, but he always let his presence be known. He's not afraid to go in for any tackle. So those are the things that I think our defensive main central defender lack. The physicality and the way Fofana, as I said, I can't really blame him. He's out for 2 seasons. I saw him go in. I saw him get dirty with Allen a couple of times. I was like, yeah, those are the little things. But you don't see Levi Colwell do stuff like those. So that's one of my biggest concerns with Levi Colwell. He's not there to get dirty. He's just there to be the nice guy.
Well, both of them to me just are, they scream finesse defenders, and there's no such thing as that in that position. You either commit or you don't commit. And to me, the problem is like with Fofana in the first goal. If you watched his positioning, he was so far like to the right-hand side that basically Colwell was by himself guarding Holland. And when by the time he turned around, Holland was already, taking a couple touches for the goal, and it was too late. And then Cuckoo tried to make up the space. But if we're going to rely on our fullbacks to make that type of space up, that's just a discipline thing. That's about, you know what I mean? Where am I at on the pitch? Where's my position? Am I where I'm supposed to be? And there was times where Fofana was walking. Like I can't understand it. You know what I mean? Like some of that is a little just frustrating. If someone's attacking you, you have to make sure you're where you're supposed to be at all times. I never see them turn their head. They're looking at whatever the direction is, and they're just like singularly focused on wherever that direction is. They don't know what's going on behind them. They have no idea. It's like that meerkat center back phenomena, which keeps happening. That is just unacceptable. You have to know what's behind you. You have to know what's around. It's probably, I mean, that position, those two positions are the most cerebral positions on the football pitch, because you have to know exactly where you need to be at all times and where exactly everybody else is supposed to be as well. And in fact, you know, most players, it's like kind of like what Thiago used to do. He would direct people to the positions they needed to be if they weren't there. That's why Badiashile probably started off so well, comparatively.
You're 100% correct, because I said it earlier in the video too, where I was talking exactly about that. Our defensive line, you know, they never really look around, to be quite honest. You're 100% correct. They never know where the opponent is. They always react, you know. And in that moment, you know, we could have conceded, you know, few more goals because of the space that they leave open, you know. And I don't know if it's a discipline problem, or it's just they're not aware of their surrounding. I don't know if it's the way how they coach, or I don't know. But for real though, it's not that solid as we want it to be. You know, it's not that not like where I should say a Thiago Silva, you know, a John Terry. You know, the goalkeeper don't even speak to the defenders. If you notice, you never see the keeper shouting, you know, talking to the defenders. And that's where I think we're lack. The defenders have no form of connection. You know, they don't talk to each other. They don't call back each other and tell them you're out of space. You know, so a lot of these have to come down to the awareness, like their lack of awareness. You there, Ty? Yes, bro. So I was saying their awareness down, you know, you're 100% correct. The keeper don't really speak to the defenders, and he's seen the game more than everyone else. You know, so that's why I don't trust this goalkeeper.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think Sanchez needs to be in that role. Too many bozo moments. You know, there's not any surety. I don't think the back line trusts him at all, and the passes that he makes, recklessly passing to KDB in a position where he could potentially be threatened. It just makes zero sense. It's what we've seen last season, and it's the reason why he lost his position in the first place. And then it's exactly what he was doing at Brighton when he became third place keeper. It's like when things don't change, right? You have to change it. So is Maresca gonna be ruthless enough to start Jorgensen the next couple matches? Because I think that performance warrants it. I mean, even the second goal, granted, Colwill should have stepped up on Kovacic 100%. He should have been stepping up on the ball, attacking the ball. Of course, he didn't do that. He lays it off, allows Kovacic to get the shot off, but Sanchez should be saving that goal. He wasn't in the right position at all. He's sitting centrally when the attacker is going left. I mean, you know, he wasn't in the right position at all. And so that's a part of it as well. It's like, I mean, we saw it even in preseason. He's diving at balls so late, or, you know, going in positions. And granted, he made some great saves today. I can't dispute that. But besides that, he's just too, like, insecure right now as a player. He doesn't give me any surety. He doesn't, like, I think goals are going to get by him, if that makes sense. It's kind of the same mentality we have with Kepa. You know, if someone was going to take a long shot at Kepa, you could almost 100% guarantee it was going to go in. I don't feel that same way. It's just I feel like he's going to make a mistake, or there's going to be a mishap that costs us in a way. And I know that the back line feels that, and they're already unsure as it is. Like you said, with the lack of communication, they don't need, you know, they don't need someone behind them that they don't trust.
And his distribution is very poor too. You know, every time he distribute the ball, he go out for throw. It go, you know, it never hit the target, and that's one of my biggest concern. Because even the second goal, what you're saying, you're 100% correct. I think that it started from him and it finished with him, because when he gave Fofana that ball, you know, he was the one that should have go long, because Man City already pressed us on that side, so there were no route out. But he got the chance to put the ball long, you know, to avoid the press, to beat the press. And what he done, it went to Fofana. Fofana cannot get a proper clear on it because the press was already started. But I think that Sanchez didn't realize about the press, and he's give it to Fofana. Fofana tried to send it long, and that's where they take it from, and that's where Kovacic comes straight back at him. So I think that if he did go long and beat the press, with an outlet, because Mark Gill, if I pronounce his name properly, he is a very, very hard-working player. So he would have pressed Man City, even if we didn't get it and we lose it there. But the defensive line would have more time to recover. And I think that's where it break down from there. If you can tell me, if I'm correct or wrong.
No, I agree with you, Garvin. I think an element too is you need, in a possession-based style of football, you need center backs that are comfortable with the ball. I don't see that with Colwill and Fofana, if that makes sense. And they're too finesse related. Like they're not strong, right? They're not like specifically Colwill. He's more of a finesse type related defender. He's probably better at like tactically being in the right position. But then the physical aspect of things, he's not aggressive enough. So he's not putting in the challenges. He's not sacrificing himself, right? That position, and that's what I mean. It's the most cerebral position. You saw Thiago put himself in front of balls all the time. He wasn't afraid to get dirty. He wasn't afraid to be in the right position. He knew it was going to hurt, if that makes sense. That's the position where, unfortunately, you're sacrificing yourself for the team. And that's just the reality. Do I see that from these players? I'm just not seeing that mentality. I'm seeing them step back, give the attacker all the space in the world to take a shot on goal, and then we're surprised if they score. That makes zero sense. One of either, like you said, that's a communication thing, because one of either Fofana or Colwill has to be vocal enough to say, "Get him! I got behind you, right? So step up, and you're closest to the ball. Attack the ball. If anything gets by you, I have your back." That's basically the type of communication we're going to need throughout this season, because if not, our line is going to be terrible. We're already trying to play this inverted system. We can't invert anything if the back three that any counterattack comes towards is not secure enough or stable enough to hold the ball, right? Or retain the ball. If that's the case, it's going to be a very long season, because I know Maresca wanted to invert, but I also know that he made that tactical decision not to do it based on the way that Man City operates, knowing that their wings are really good. So if they get by a couple players, forget about it. You can call it a day after that. So I was impressed, fair enough, with Maresca just on that aspect, changing his tactics when we've been doing certain things all preseason. That I can at least respect. The problem is does he have the personnel to succeed? Right now, my verdict is no. And to me, I don't understand how Chalobah doesn't just walk into this list of center backs and start. That's just my personal opinion. I would be fine with a Fofana Trev or a Fofana Tosin or a Trev Tosin, things like that. More aggressive players who are going to attack the ball and not just wait for things to happen to them.
I think Fofana is a very good defender, but I just think that it's too soon for him, because out for 2 years,
Yeah.
we're putting too much on him too soon. That's why I would have taken at least another defender alone, even Chalobah. If we're not going to use Chalobah is better than Disasi. I know that.
And Badiashile. Both of them are not on farm.
Yeah, 100% correct. He already know about the Premier League. He's been there in the Premier League. He's been there with a Chelsea team that made run to the undefeated for a while, because one couple seasons ago, I think it was last season, this cycle broke. Every time that Chalobah played, Chelsea never lost. So stuff like those, Thiago Silva was comfortable playing with Chalobah.
Last season they were our two best center backs, and arguably it wasn't even close. Especially the last 10 to 15 matches when Chalobah could actually play with Thiago, forget about it. They were starting game in and game out. And that's what I'm saying is there's something about having continuity, about having a leader, having someone who's been there and done that. These players, Fofana is injury prone. Badiashile is having I don't know what's going on with him mentally, right? It's like a psychological thing more than his ability. Disasi, as much as he is physical and could be potentially a Rudiger type of player, he's just positionally inept. He just doesn't know where he is on the pitch. Things get behind him. Things get around him. He doesn't know where he's supposed to be. And so you need, to me, I mean, I'm not seeing it from Tosin either, but he could potentially be that player. We need another like elite level center back to me, someone who has just the cerebral aspects of the game down, right? The mentality. It's not necessarily, he doesn't have to be the greatest defender, but it's someone that could mentor these young center backs to potentially be great.
Yeah, and that's what we need. We're definitely gonna need all of that. But I want your take on because we know Joe Felix is gonna come in by tomorrow. You know, we know that deal is done. That because Gallagher wasn't even named as a Chelsea player. You know, if you check the list, Gallagher is not even on that list for like a number or anything at all. So we know that Gallagher is through the door, and that deal, you know, with Joe Felix, a lot of Chelsea fans been saying a lot of stuff about it. Some need it, some say they don't want it. But I think he is a player, will be like a Maresca type of player, to be quite honest. You know, because he can play the false nine. And if you have a player of his ability playing the false nine, and he's a good finisher. You know, I think he's a better finisher than Nicholas Jackson, in my humble opinion. So even if we do not get a Victor Osimhen, we know that he is a good finisher, and he can play also on the wing. So do you think that Noni Madueke, you know, do you think that his career is on the threat right now at Chelsea? Do you see a future for him at Chelsea?
You kind of already alluded to it, right, Garvin? It's a mentality thing with Nani. He's too immature, right? He's not where he needs to be to succeed. Because if he thinks things are just deserved, or he already should be graced with things, that's the wrong mentality for a young player who's still up and coming to have, right? You have to earn things in this type of league, in any club, really. So nothing's just given to you, right? The people that think that they just are entitled to things, it's an issue. So I don't know that he's going to have a long-term career at Chelsea with that mentality, and a long-term career in general. Because most people, I mean, that might work in a lesser league, you know, in the Eredivisie, which he used to be in with PSV, things like that, but not at the heights, you know, not at the pinnacle with some of the better teams in the world. You have to always be a student and willing to learn and willing to come back and adapt your game. And if not, then you just, unfortunately, you know, you just are obsolete at a certain point. Someone take your place that can do the job you can't, right? And so I don't see him having a long-term career at Chelsea with that mentality. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sold, maybe not this summer, maybe January or the summer after, if he doesn't put in the performances that are needed. I was a little disappointed even in Palmer today, though, in that position, but he had to come down deep to get the ball. And then I thought Enzo was way too high. I mean, and you mentioned we're getting João Felix. I mean, maybe with João Felix, he can potentially be that 10-ish role that Enzo was kind of operating in today. I would have preferred Nkunku in that role, and then had a different kind of situation. Maybe we could have Nkunku as the false nine and João Felix behind him with Palmer on the right and Neto on the left. That sounds like something with potential, if that makes sense, if we don't get a striker. And if we don't get a center back, right, then obviously everything has to change and you have to adapt. That seems like an easy adaptation to me. So maybe that's something that could be viable in the future. I could definitely see that working.
Yeah, my problem with Noni Madueke, when I went to that Real Madrid game, you know, I observe a lot, you know, because you know when you're watching it on TV, you know, when the ball shifts, the camera shifts with it. So you don't really see, you know, behind, you know, what some of those players are doing. And for me, Noni Madueke attitude is really an attitude that I don't really like. You know, I take that deep into consideration. You know, on my way back from the game, that's the only thing I could think of. You know, the Modric is like a player lost in the wilderness. You know, like no one can find him, but he has to find a way to find himself. You know, I think that we definitely need wingers. We need player like a Joe Felix, someone who can make something happen out of nothing. I think that's what we're lacking because of, you know, the likes of a Cole Palmer. You know, this season, a lot of teams going to try to close down Cole Palmer, and which Enzo said, you know, it's not everything should be going through Cole Palmer. It's a lot. It's too much burden for the young player. You know, some statement like that he made a couple of days ago. So he know that the pressure is going to be too much on Cole Palmer. You know, you don't want Cole Palmer to be like a Saka from Arsenal, where you know people started comparing him and criticize him. That you know, his Arsenal is like a one man show. You know, you need that help, especially if you want him to achieve greatness. You know, he's gonna need someone to take some of the load off him, you know, to free up more space for him. Because you have the likes of a Joe Felix and the likes of a Christopher Nkunku, who's good on the ball, good on their movements. That would open up a lot of space for Cole Palmer. I don't think this will stifle Cole Palmer, like what some people have been saying. I think this would help Cole Palmer because there would be less pressure on him. It would be more time for him to go into the box and to finish because he's a good finisher. You know, so that's just my take on that part. I don't know if you agree or disagree.
No, yeah, no. I think, I mean, with Palmer, you know, from a managerial perspective, right? With that situation, when you know they're going to double up on Cole, that frees up everybody else. So everybody else has to make something happen, right? You got it. Like you said, Joao Felix can be that spark, can be that creative player that can make things happen out of nothing. And you need that type of player, that ilk of player, that the quality of player coming into Chelsea at all times. Just having that type of quality is always going to make us more competitive no matter what. And to have them, you know, in terms of like from a rotational perspective is great. The thing is too is you use that to your advantage. That's what I was alluding to, like managerially, right? I know they're going to double up on Cole on the right. That's going to free up the left, or that's going to free up certain parts of the midfield. So I know if they're going to tactically attack Cole or defensively, you know, you're going to have your center back and your fullback kind of guarding his positions that he wants to get in. Fair enough. That's going to free someone else up. So look for those spaces, get in between the lines, look at where players at and where they're positioned. If they're continuously marking him, right, free something else up, and then he can have an influence that way, kind of like as a decoy, right? He's like that decoy player where you know how much of a threat he is, just similar to Saka. You know how much of a threat he is, but you can't mark him with just one player. You're gonna have to guard. You're gonna have to have a couple people, you know, marking him at minimum. Then all of a sudden, someone's in that position, and if we are inverting and we have the overload in the midfield, that opens up a possibility for someone to get in an attacking space to make something happen. Joao Felix is the perfect complement to that, right? If it's Cole Palmer to Joao Felix, I mean, and they're all of a sudden, you know, given time, say 6 months down the line from now, you know, able to be as cohesive as maybe Nkunku and some of the other players are. If they're able to get these 1-2s down, our attack will not be the issue. I don't believe that we won't have the attacking nous to win matches. It'll be more about, okay, you know, defensively, what are we doing? Are we always coming off of the back foot? You know what I mean? Are we having to fight to get back into games as opposed to being on the front foot or at least being competitive, you know, drawing at halftime, giving ourselves a chance in the second half? How are things like that going to eventually eat away at the team if we're consistently having to do the same things over and over again because of little, you know, mistakes and lack of discipline? That's what I'm saying. And to me, it's not just on Maresca. Everybody thinks, oh, well, Maresca has to come in and be this great manager to all of a sudden get these players where they need to be. No, these players also need to take accountability. There's a level of that as well. Take accountability and say, I want Champions League football. I want to be the best. I want a title at the end of the season. It has to be the mentality. And there's the players that are good enough to do it, like a Reece and a Palmer, just aren't vocal enough. Right? They're the ones who can lead with their play, somehow just don't have the vocality. They're not like the type of player to say, hey, this is the mentality we need. Because that person in reality in a squad is hated, right? Nobody likes that player. No one likes the player that's going to constantly push you to be your best because they're telling you that you're not good enough currently. And it's not about niceties anymore. It's not about like formalities, right? It's about, okay, results. That's what this season's about. I think for all of us as Chelsea fans, we just want results. We don't care about this excuse or that excuse or this player wasn't here, or we didn't get this, or I don't think we care about that any longer. You know, it's our third season going in. We need Champions League football, not just from a monetary perspective, but for our fan base, you know, for people to start backing this ownership. If they really want support, this is the way you do it. right? Is by going full throttle and giving your everything to get Champions League football. And that's it. I mean, so for these players, I think they need to think in those terms in a very short-term manner. They need to start thinking about their mentality every match. Not, oh, what 10 matches from now, it's fine. We'll just let this one go. We can give up. They're already up 3-0. It just is what it is. And just write this whole thing off. Because that's the mentality that I'm seeing consistently. And this isn't just a one season thing. This is the last 3, 4, 5 seasons where after we go down, they just give up. The effort is no longer there. If you lose to a better team, it's something completely different. If you lose because you're just not willing to put in 100% of your effort in a match that is probably not going to go in the way you would like it to, that's completely different. Those are two different things. And you can't just, have an on and off switch with your play. That is where I think Maresca is going to have to be extremely ruthless with these players. You make a mistake, you have to be punished for it. It just is what it is. It's just the nature of the beast in a sense. So we're going to see how this all works out. But I like the ruthlessness that I've seen of Maresca so far. That Sterling call was big. I'm sure the Chilwell call was big. Some of these experienced players that these players are supposed to be looking up to just aren't of the levels or of the type of player we need in those experienced roles. We need players that players can look up to want to be like.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Marin. Even though we're going to close off in the next 10 minutes, what's your take? What's your take on the game today?
Big up, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Alright, okay. My mic is a bit off, so if you guys can't hear me, yeah. But yeah, big up, guys. Big up. What can you say about the game? I could just say that I think there's a lot of improvement that has to be done, especially at the back. We already know what's going on with the goalkeeper, so that's kind of I feel like the goalkeeper part maybe will rebuild next season. The only solution is our defense. I think our defense, we need to fix that. If we fix our defense, probably will be good enough. Just coming back to the point of our midfield as well. Our midfield guys, I won't lie to you. Everyone has been saying this Caicedo Enzo thing. I don't really see it. Deep line midfielders, 3 of them. We literally played DMs against 2 8s on DM. Actually, Man City never had a DM. They actually sorted an 8 on a DM. But that's fair enough. That's how it is. We just move on and look on to the next game. And yeah, I'm actually proud of the boys because they kept fighting. It's not like they never gave up. They kept fighting. Second half, they were pressing. First half, they were not pressing. I think it's kind of a game plan Maresca told them not to press. Because I was also shocked, why would you let that much? But, I'm just comfortable enough to see these players are linking up once again. Compared to last season it was difficult for these players to link up. But now I think this season maybe we can get the best out of some players. But hey, guys, I don't know about you guys. I don't want to see Nkunku left wing, guys. Nah. I think we need to play Nkunku central. Maybe let Pedro Neto and Modric do their thing in the left wing, in the left flank. And also on the right flank, I think we need someone on the right flank too, because I think we're burning Palmer out, bro. I think because the way I saw him today, I think he kind of burnt out a little bit. He checks, so I don't know. That's my whole game for today. There's still a little bit of improvement happening. I just think we could be better for this. So I just want to see
before we because I want to go watch some of the Real Madrid games. So I got 2 final questions for both of you guys before we close off the show. So let me start with indefinite. What you guys think? What do you think about the Raheem Sterling situation?
You already know that. You already know that thing, Garvin. Send him to Saudi already. Sell him to Al, whoever the hell will take him at this point. That's who I care about. I mean, he's just not there. He can't be a 75% merchant making 325K a week and not putting in the effort to be the best player on the team. It's just not good enough. That can't be like players are. How are players supposed to look up to that, right? I get that he could be a great role player and maybe a good super sub, but he just performs every, I think, fourth or fifth match. I think even was on Coach's channel. He said every sixth match they did the math. And all of a sudden he puts in a good shift. But it's like you can't have that being your highest earner in the club, and then other people look at that who are performing and actually doing something for our team, and they're not compensated in the same manner, right? So I think it sets the wrong precedent. Sterling's going to have to move on. The statement today showed me already what I needed, and he's ready to move on. It is what it is. If it's a loan to Juventus, if it's whoever from Saudi, just take it at this point. I mean, because he's going to be a stink face. If he's making statements just because he didn't even get in the team, I mean, forget about when they actually have practices and he's supposed to be involved. And one stink face begets the next, right? And we have a young and vulnerable team that could easily be influenced. So, you have to get rid of that type of player. It's unfortunate that this ownership has bought experience, but that all of these experienced players they bought were, towards they were on the way down in terms of their careers, right? They weren't on the way up. They weren't going to be transcending the next level or reaching the heights in any manner. We bought, Koulibaly 3 years too late. We bought Aubameyang when he was dead and had no legs. We brought in Sterling thinking he could be like a starting winger and provide us all these goals. And granted, the last 2 seasons he's done all right in that manner, but just the effort, like I said, pulling out of challenges, not doing just the basics of coming back on the left hand side to support whoever his fullbacks are. It's just it's rudimentary stuff. It's elementary stuff at a certain point. These are the basics. He's not even willing to do the basics, and he's the highest earner in our club. That makes zero sense.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, sports definitely pointed everything out. And as well, I think with that saying about Sterling, bro, I think it's time for him to move on, guys. Like, serious, because we can't afford to bench someone that's on 300K, bro. Like, we legit need to look somewhere else. I heard Chiesa, but hey, I think, if you're going for Chiesa, fair enough. But yeah, man, I think we're done with attackers, guys. I think the attacking room, guys, I think we're proper because we're getting Felix. We might get Osimhen. Now we're trying to get Chiesa. I think we should relax a bit because we already got Petroneto. Let's focus on the back. These guys must go to the market and buy center back. Serious. Like you guys saw Todd Bowley go out of the stadium earlier on before the game ended. So he actually saw the team, how the team was there. We saw, hey, bro, there's 1 or 2 things that's going on bad, bro. I just suggest that these guys must go to the market and buy a center back. Instead of focusing on an attack, focus on Osimhen and a center back. Serious. For this, before the transfer ends, let's just buy a center back. A proper solid center back. So yeah, but my point for Sterling, he needs to move on because, we can't, have a player that's on 300K and he's not playing some games. I think it's time for him to move on.
The center back, everyone keep on saying it, so I just hope that they see it. But I know it was gonna come back to the center back. So this is my question to you guys. Whose center back is out there that we can get? Or is a world class center back that we can bring in right now to fill that gap? Start with you, Murray. Go ahead, Murray. Start with you.
Guys, Bastoni, guys.
Yeah.
Bastoni. Who else? Who else is a solid center back? Matt Hummels is also solid. You can give them 1 or 2 contracts. Simple for them to learn game. Who else is also in the market, guys? Really, there are good center backs out there. Legit good center backs. For them to teach Fofana and Cowell and Balasie Disasi how to actually be solid at the back. So, like, I don't want to hear like there's no center back in the market because there is, and they're actually on decent prices, bro. 40, 50 million on the market, guys. Let's split that money, But like you said, Calvin, like I don't think they want to focus on that. Probably much maybe if they see a problem, then maybe they'll focus on that. But there's Bastoni, California already went to Arsenal. That dumb shit. Who else is also one of the decent center backs? Mark
I would
Hughes
have
can
I,
even
I
go
would have
back
thrown
to
in
the
like
deal.
Gleison Bremer from
Yeah,
Juventus,
exactly. Yeah,
26,
facts.
27, strong, 6'3", it attacks the ball. That type of player plays at the highest level and has experience in Europe. So, I mean, that would have been my short list. I mean, I already told you who I wanted. I keep saying Premier League proven players partially because they're used to the league. I mean, I don't see why we can't get a Dunk and or a Tarkovsky. They're good shouts just for a cheap old center back that already has experience, but they're never going to buy them because there's no resale value. So take that in consideration. So the only alternatives to me would be Bastoni and or Gleison Bremer. They really need to consider this if they're serious about Osman. They need to make a decision now. To me, if you're not going to do it, that's fine. Go after a Tony. Go after something economical, Victor Gokieres or whoever they need to go after. But they need to make decisions very quickly because we can't go into the season the way that we are, and we're unfortunately we're saying the same things we were last season. We're not clinical enough, and we're not finishing. And defensively, we're a shambles.
Well said, bro. Well said. There's no one can sit here or in the chat to really, come up against what you said because the fact is just a fact, and we've been seeing it for a long, long time now. It's like we just definitely can find us a solid defender and find a striker who can put the ball in the back of the net. That's one of Chelsea's biggest problems for not just only this season, but it's been a long, long time right coming. Like we can't find anyone. And my take always like if we can find a striker, even if he's for one penny, long as he can put the ball in the back of the net, it don't have to be a name that we all know about. We just need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. And that's where we're really struggling for so long now. Everyone is saying this is the last topic because I know you guys probably want to go watch a Real Madrid game, not myself. But what you guys take on the squad because the squad is huge, but we've been selling players left, right, and center, but the squad is still huge. So, do you guys think that the reason why this is holding up the Joe Felix and the Osimhen deal is because of we're trying to get players off the book before we go for those players?
Nah, because why go Felix and why do we sign all those young players? We signed all these players with that budget. So I don't think it has to do with us shipping us players. It can't be. Because if we're managing to buy more players after, if we're trying to ship out Sterling and we're still trying to buy more players, it can't be a team concern. I think it's just budgeting or finance concern. Maybe they're just too scared to hop in for Osimhen. I don't know. Like this guy's already invested 222 million on midfielders, so they're scared to hop in on from Osimhen. But I disagree when you say like it's because of the team. I don't think it's that. These guys have money, man. They can buy a player right now, and I'm just like concerned, like why can't they buy, okay, one decent proper player, then all the other players that you wanna buy, I don't care, you can buy the wonder kids, but have a specific player know that okay, this player is going to improve what the back or the midfield. That's what I want, but yeah, it's just how it is. Like in indefinite says, sometimes you don't know what the board wants. You just have to speak hard. how it is. So yeah.
The thing is this. You can't buy all of these players that are more of a luxury that are there for quality and depth, and not just get whatever you need in terms of your priorities. I keep saying the same thing, Garvin. We knew coming into the summer window exactly what we needed, and to me, thus far, the sporting directors have failed because somehow they've bought in everything else besides one of the two things that we needed, which was a striker and a center back to me. I mean, a left wing was a luxury to me. If we got that, then all the better. And granted, we got Neto. It's one of the best left backs or left wings in the world. So fair enough. And we have Joao Felix now at our disposal. The problem is, are we getting what we need in the moment that we need it? And then, yeah, they're going to have to figure out how they're going to balance the books because somehow they're not. They still haven't gotten rid of Lukaku. That was supposed to be a priority. I thought all the legwork for getting rid of Lukaku, Kepa, some of the other stink faces that are still in the club was all that was supposed to have been done already. And I'm not hearing anything. I'm hearing crickets. So I'm wondering how they plan on balancing things. I know they want to get rid of Broja. I know they want to get rid of Trev. I know they want to get rid of all these players. And there is an element where they're saying, all right, to fund an Osimhen deal, that's 200K in wages. Well, if they can get rid of Lukaku and Kepa, that's 370K just right there. Right. So I'm sure there's an element where they're like, where's the trade off? He's going to want this much. Are we going to pay this much? I think with Osimhen, for some reason, there's just too many hoops to jump through in that the player doesn't want to lower his wages. And then on top of that, ADL is just notoriously difficult to handle when it comes to transfers. He's very shrewd. He's the type of businessman who's going to try to squeeze whatever club is interested in his players for every single dollar that they have. And doesn't want to take a penny less and doesn't want to negotiate. And if that is the case, then we need to look at alternatives. We need to have plan B, C, D. And so we get exactly what is needed. You see what I'm saying, Garvin? So if we don't go for Osimhen, but we're almost potentially willing to put the money up, put that money towards two different players that we need, a center back and a striker. If it is a Tony for the time being, fair enough. If it is for Gokieris, that's fine. I can respect it. And then if we're trying to bring in a center back at a solid fee and a decent wage, I can understand it. But the transfer policy is going to change regardless of whatever they think they want in terms of youth talents. It's just what does the squad need? It's not about what they need any longer in terms of the ownership, hoarding talent consistently just to sell them for a minimal profit. That's not going to be something that works in the long term. They need to get the players they need now and do it as quickly as possible. And there should be no excuses as to why they don't.
Well, thank you guys for what you said, and 100% correct. Again, indefinite. Like you guys are hitting the nail on the head, man. 100% correct. I agree with everything both of you guys said. But this pop up in the media, before we close off. Let me get your guys' last take on it. Even though I said that was the last one, but I didn't remember about this. But they're saying that probably Chelsea about to get a transfer ban, probably a 2-window ban. So that's why they think Chelsea's stacking up all these players, So I just want to get your guys' take on it because of, we're on the investigation and the charge, So I guess that we know that it's coming. So I guess they said that's why we're trying to, because remember they cooperate with the FA. They report themselves also. So wonder if this is the reason why they're trying to get all the best young players, just in case if the ban is occur, like what we reporting last week, in the media. Give me a guy's take on that. And big up Dante. Thank you for tuning in, bro.
So with that, I don't think we should be worried about that because we already saw their model now. Their model is to buy wonder kids, groom them, and sell them. And we've been selling these kids. We sold what's this? We already sold Amaro Hutchison. We are selling these players. So if we get a transfer bed, fair enough. I think that's kind of gonna help the team if they bring the proper players right now in this transfer market. I think that's when we'll be comfortable to get a transfer ban. But I just feel like maybe they're trying to like skip the FFP regulations as well. Because the way they're doing it, they're smart. These guys are smart. Buying young kids for low market value, then you sell them on a high. That's smart. But like Definite said, you can't be moving like that when you know your team needs improvement. You know one or two areas we need like a center back, we need a striker. But you're out there buying wonder kids and all that, trying to balance the financial regulations. I understand it's business, football is business at the end of the day, but no, in terms of squad and in terms of the football club, in terms of like what the team carries in depth, like the squad needs more quality. And we've been saying this throughout the streams and all the lives we've been on it. Like the squad itself needs more quality. We need more quality in the squad. So yeah, but coming back to the finance, I think that's just like rumors. PR is just like planting all that stuff. But yeah, let's just see. We once got banned, guys. Nothing has changed. Chelsea never fell out. Nothing has changed. We always come back. So if that happens, fair enough. I'll accept that. Then yeah, we'll just take it from there. And yeah, we'll see on to the future.
I mean, if the rumors are true, you operate in a different sense. There has to be a certain sense of urgency, right? Like, if we do have a transfer ban, 2 or 3 window transfer ban coming, just get everything you need now. Just do it as fast as you possibly can. Get a striker in. I don't care who it is. There's at least 2 or 3 options they have at their disposal. Bring in an experienced center back. Just bring in the reinforcements we need, because we may not be able to do it in the future if that is the case. And like Meyer kind of said, this may all be rumors. We don't know, the validity of this yet until things are actually brought up in courts and the decisions are kind of made. But if there is a transfer ban coming, there has to, in the next 13 days, 14 days, we have to be extremely, extremely intelligent with our decision making. We have to be strategic. We have to get exactly what we need, how we need it, at the price we need it. And if we could potentially fight it, later, fair enough. If we could limit it to a 2 window transfer ban, fair enough. But I mean, we just need to get what we need as soon as possible. Then, if they know that, the owners probably already have that context. If they know what's coming based on reports and things like that, they have an understanding of what's coming based on what was self-reported. So they know what's coming. There might be a part of the reason why they are, buying as many young players as they are currently, could potentially be a part of their transfer policy for the time being. But then we can't also rely on kids to be successful either. What I think these owners are missing out on, unfortunately, is that they don't realize that our performance, both in the league, with the potential of European football, titles equates to profitability, not just all these new different, tricks like they try to implement with different policies and looking at the rules and trying, like everybody says we're all cheats for doing things like that, but we're following the technicalities of the rules, right? Instead of being clever in that sense, they need to realize that if we just perform generally, like if we just get results and all of a sudden we're a winning club, that will get the profitability that they're looking for as well. It doesn't just have to be wonder kids. It could actually be if our first team is successful and starts to win titles and we gain a reputation, now all of a sudden players are attracted just simply by, the stature of our club and our ability to win, because players are attracted to clubs that win. Right at the end of the day, they want to have titles on their CV when they go to the next club. If they ever have to go or whatever it is for their careers, right? They get paid more based on their experience. They know if they have a good experience and win titles, that translates to more money for them, and there's more money all around. And they need to have that mentality as opposed to, oh, we need to be clever with our transfer policies and buy all these kids and, hope for a profit in the future, because some of these transfers also haven't worked out. Mudryk is never going to potentially retain the value that we spent on him. Barishile, Disasi, some of these players that we've bought, Fofana, even if we were ever to sell them in the future, they're not going to hold the same value we bought them at. So there is going to be a little bit of a loss, and they're going to have to eventually cut their losses with some of these players and make hard decisions. And the time is coming now. This is the season to do it. If you're going to do it, I would do it as soon as possible. I wouldn't wait till next season and say, "Oh, well, we know this player's not this player, and we kind of went in unprepared, but we had high expectations." We can no longer, we can no longer afford to do that. We can ill afford to do that at this current moment. So it's gonna be a challenging season. Are we gonna get what we need in 13 days if we haven't done it in almost 3 months? That's the question that I really have for these sporting directors.
Yeah, it's probably we need a transfer ban, to be quite honest, to let this team really settle in for what we already have. The transfer ban can probably, just like on the Roman Abramovich. Remember when we get that transfer ban, that's what kind of helped us with the likes of Reece James, Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, come through the ranks. So sometimes the transfer ban will help the team, and probably these owners, wouldn't even have to think about splashing the cash here and there and kind of take us off the market a little bit and kind of let people kind of stop talk about us. We go under the radar a little bit. I think that we're doing too much signing. I think that's why a lot of people been talking about us, because we do too much signing at once. So I think that we can do without signing, especially in the January window. So we need to get a striker in. We get Joe Felix in, get the striker in, get a defender in, and a goalkeeper, for signing. And then probably the next summer, we don't need any signing. And even in January. So we can transfer ban ourselves, honestly. If we can get a central defender through the door, and I still don't trust these goalkeeper. So probably if we can sell all those goalkeeper and go for a better goalkeeper, and get me the striker, that we want with Joe Felix, I think that we set. That's my humble opinion. I think we will be set because we still have Ugo Chuko can call him back from loan. If we need a midfield, Andre Santos is still going to come back next season, so he's still going to be a brand new player. So I think you guys are correct. But my biggest concern is these owners definitely need a transfer ban. Any last words from you guys?
No, just big up Garvin. Always,
Yeah, big up,
you're my
guys.
brother. Yeah.
That's
Even Ty, I didn't get to hear too much from Ty. I came in and was listening to what he was saying, and he keeps saying that he wishes he was as articulate as me, but he's pretty articulate himself. He's a pretty smart guy, so got to give himself a little bit more credit. But yeah, no, I mean, I just appreciate you always for just providing a platform for us to speak our minds. You know how that is. Everybody has different opinions. People may disagree with me, fair enough. But at least, we're able to share it. We're creating a family-related platform, which I think is really healthy for the community. And you always spread positivity, Garvin, which is a good thing. You even when I'm being very negative and skeptical, you're always there to kind of provide a little bit of a light for me. So I always look to your content, and I always look to like Ty and Coach and Mitchie, et cetera. I'm always involved, so I care about you guys a lot, and you guys are like a second family to me.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, bro. Because the other day when you're in the comment section, I'm trolling with you. You're giving me the passion to continue. I like it when you're in there and just talking your truth. It kind of helps sometimes with the content too. Because if we're all positive, it's gonna go sideways in a little bit. So when you were there showing all, what you think about it, it kind of let me smile. Because me and Jerry was texting in the backstage, and I was like, I'm gonna say, because I know Indefinite is there. And I'm gonna say, oh, Chelsea's gonna go, undefeated all season. Yeah. So
On the first match already, Garvin. We're running the Invincibles yet, huh?
yeah, but I really appreciate you guys, though, man. What do you say, Marin?
I just wanted to say, guys, this is going to be a long season, and let's just have hope for the best for this club, for our teammates, especially for our teammates. Like, we just need to give them hope. And yeah, man, if fair enough, if you want to crash on them, crash on them. It's okay. That's your opinion. And yeah, like, I just want us to support this team throughout, bro. Even if we're losing, guys, let's support Chelsea, bro. Our team, we're supporting it for a reason. So yeah, we're gonna have a tough season. Hoping for the best. I want Conference League. I don't want no excuses. I want Conference League, guys. That's automation to what? To Europa straight if we win Conference League. So yeah, man. Hope for the best up the Charles. Let's keep our spirit high. It's the first game. And let's just see how his first 10 games. Let's see how Maresca actually falls. So yeah.
I want to say thank you to each and everyone that's watching.
Yeah, oh my word, I've been forgotten.
Oh, I called you a couple of times, but we didn't hear nothing from you. Go ahead, Ty. What do you have to say?
Yeah, but you know, Garvan, you know how Sunday evenings are in Jamaica. So, but yeah. I didn't make my announcement, but I'll just announce it after I contact you as well. But yeah, as Indefinite was saying, and everybody, you know, me and I just want to give my thoughts quickly. The whole situation with, maybe as you said, we do need a transfer ban so that we can just let the team settle and just not be acting as if we are playing football manager. The owners are just being acquainted with a game, and it's that, it reminds me of those kids where when you give them their first game, their mobile game, and you give them that opportunity to buy things in that game. They go for the biggest, and they don't care about how much money they just spend, and they spend and they spend. But you when you take that opportunity away from them, it gives them the opportunity to actually realize that they need to satisfy what they have, and not be greedy for more, and that's what the owners need right now. They Yes, and as Indefinite was saying, yes, it's we've gotten players that can help the team, but we did not cover the areas. We didn't get players in the areas that we needed to get players. Or if we did, those players perhaps it doesn't, they're not gonna give that impact that you need. They can in the future, but you need someone that is gonna be able to help this young team get more experience, get an understanding of what needs to be done, the demands of playing at a team that are trying to get back into some higher level of relevance. Because Chelsea have now become somewhat of a banter club even more, and many fans aren't okay with that. Many fans aren't acceptable of that. And I think that, as you said, Garvan, getting a transfer ban such as the one that we got on a Roman would help the owners realize that, okay, we have no choice. We can't sell any youngsters. We can't do this. We can't do that. Let us see what we have first before we go out and spend 50 million or 10 million on players, and then in the future we look to sell them. We've already seen the philosophy that is supposedly there. Diego Moreira was signed on a free, I believe, and then we sold him. That's going to happen to a lot of players as well. Angelo Gabriel may be in that bracket as well. You know, David Washington could be another one as well. It's just a matter of something needs to prevent them from continuously looking to spend and spend, because we've not let the team settle. We're signing more players. We're messing up chemistry. We're messing up the consistency in the team by doing that. So I think something needs to prevent them. Obviously, I don't want the club to get relegated and all that, but they need to get some sort of reprimandation for the continuous spending and spending and spending without letting the team gel, let the team get a season under their belt without having interruptions, and that's not been the case. So I think something needs to be done for sure.
As just I said, man. Anything you guys want to add to that? Because
No, I agree with Ty. Yeah, maybe like you said, even with you, Garvin, maybe the transfer ban could be a good thing. You never know. We also have to keep in mind context, right? The context of the last transfer ban. We were under Roman. Frank took over. Frank Lampard, our legend, took over, and he was kind of given the grace of a lot of elite, talented players as well. So would it work in the same way? I'm not too sure yet, if that makes sense. We have a lot of talented players, and I'm sure we have a lot of players in our academy that could play. But we also seem to be selling them for pure profit. So they would have to completely adapt their model where we'd have a transfer ban as well, because if they're relying on, our balance sheet somehow working out with only players they profit off of because they spend so much, right? That may not work in the long term, if that makes sense. They're going to have to adapt as well. And I feel like these owners are a little bit stubborn with their policies. So until they're able to like kind of look inward, I don't know if that's going to function as well as we would need it to. So I guess we'll have to see. If we do get a transfer ban, like you said, some of these players would feel more settled, but we also could potentially lose a lot of players on transfers because if we don't compete. So there's multiple ways to look at this.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to that, Marin?
I think they landed it very perfectly, spot on, with the owners and us getting a transfer ban. We need it because I think it's kind of maybe them stop buying these wonder kids. Like, okay, there's no problem in buying wonder kids, but like if it's too much, bro, like let's just think about your money here, in terms of finance, because in the market you need to like what you definitely say, like you have to be strategic, you need to be smart, you have to move intelligent here. You can't just like spend money on just random players. Then after that you sell them because you kind of not making profit. So we do. If it's gonna happen like that, then fair enough. I would want that to happen.
Yeah, so I want to say thank you for each and everyone who's watching. Thank you for the guys on the panel. It was a very good talk today. About the Chelsea club that we love. Result didn't go our way today, but Man City is one of the best teams in the world. Can we bounce back on Thursday and also on Sunday? Because we play both Thursday and Sunday. So hopefully, we can bounce back and start to go on a run right now, because this is the first game of the season. The best team in England, according to many, the favorite to win the Premier League. So I won't take this one too much, but the ones coming Sunday will be one of the one that I will really be keen on. Because we definitely have to get a result, because we cannot go behind too far so early. So hopefully that we got a better weekend next weekend. So thank you guys for watching. Your boy GSC Garvin with Indefinite, Marin, and the one and only Ty. Chelsea Session. We want to say have a good evening and thank you all for watching.
Successful, I feel. All the memories come flooding back, hit different. I've changed a lot, friends list got thinner. Ain't tripping about enemies, true and stay hidden. He was lurking, so we made sure he went missing. Told the fakers to leave, but they wouldn't listen, they faulty. Now they gotta watch me glisten, they ain't silent. Like some snakes, they stay hissing, spreading words and